What's going on, XRP, crypto, traders, and investors? It's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. It is Tuesday, Bloody Tuesday, November 4th. What a day out there today. It's also Ripple Swell kicking off today, and the market was absolutely destroyed. So we're going to take a look at the damage done on XRP. We've had a nice recovery here so far, but I did warn that we could see quite a bit of downside, and I actually took a couple of trades as well. And yeah, I'm in an XRP trade at the moment. I was able to snag it up around 212, and we're bouncing back nicely at around 222. But I posted in the Powell Group private community today as well that generally these crypto events, so today's Swell, doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin Miami or Bitcoin conference, they're always the same. It's usually a big sell-off into the event. Then after the event's over, we start to recover. But as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. If you haven't already, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos. And I do own XRP. It's my largest crypto holding. Follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. So I'll just bring up the Powell Group private community here, and I'll scroll up. So I mentioned this earlier today that we had a descending triangle here on XLM saying that we could see a lot more downside, and then XRP 4-hour bear flag target. This was very early this morning. So you can see here the price was at around 224 when I posted it. I said we confirmed the 4-hour bear flag here with the high, low, lower high, and lower low. The target was 209. We hit 206. So that was pretty much reached to perfection. And then I said here a few minutes later, always typical to see crypto sell off at these big events, and Ripple Swell today. This happens usually with the Bitcoin conferences too, and then we start to recover. And then Bitcoin also had a 15-minute bear flag, so that target was 98,000, and adding a lot more confluence to the fact that we were going to see more headwinds and downside. And Coinbase was pretty much unusable today, but yeah, we have to. There's another pattern here as well. So it was the descending triangle here on the weekly time frame. So if I zoom out, and I might have to get rid of a few things, yeah, and I do. So we're going to get rid of these fib tools here. So you can see this this descending triangle is forming on the weekly time frame. So you can see here you have your sloping resistance line, your horizontal line of support, and then you just take your measured move there from the high to the low, and then you move it out to where we broke out, and it was saying literally just below $2, so around 197. So you literally can't make this stuff up. And then we hit there on this capitulation event and that liquidation event from the week of October 6th. And then we still had an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross lining up. It's still lining up. It still could happen. And then on the daily time frame, where we're yet to hit daily oversold. So again, we can look at the chart. Everybody wants it to be bullish. We got altcoins potentially. The spot ETFs getting approved for all these altcoins. We already saw one for HBAR, one for Litecoin, of course, XRP, the bastard child, right? Everybody, they always neglect it because they're saving the best for last. And in my opinion, I don't even think it's going to be the ETF that gets us back on track. I think it's going to be the Clarity Act getting passed at some point, more than likely over the next couple of months. And then we had another major red flag here as well, where we had a bearish triple thunder crossover. So the price lost the 10-week moving average, and we had a bear cross of the stochastic and the MACD as well. Sorry, I'm a little sick, so I'm trying to get through this video as best I can, but my throat's pretty sore at the moment. So yeah, we had three major red flags there, losing the 10-week moving average, the stochastic and the MACD crossing bearish. On the weekly time frame moving averages, we lost the 50. And we had nothing nearby until the 100 weekly there at 156. And on the daily time frame, we have a death cross forming. So that's very close to happening. So this very well could be the bottom or temporary bottom. But I'm not ruling out one more potential leg down. And it could end up being a result of a flush of $2. I don't think it's going to be there for very long. I think it'll be similar to here, where we saw this liquidation event back on Friday, October 10th. And then you had that huge lower wick and buy the dip, right? And very, very fast recovery. Yeah, all the way down from 177, and we bounced to 269, so let's say 270. And yeah, today, like I said, we had that 4-hour bear flag. We had the descending triangle as well that we were looking at. And yeah, we had multiple alerts go off. So still could see that EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, unfortunately. And like I said, typically these events, everybody's expecting some sort of announcement and whatnot, right? And oh, the lineup's amazing and it's going to be the best thing ever, and then it always ends up being a flop. That's pretty much until it changes. That's what we're just going to expect, because that's literally how it's been. I went to a Bitcoin conference, Bitcoin Miami, and it was the same thing there. I'm just going to get rid of put those drawings that I had back there. But yeah, at the end of the day, there's nothing to worry about in my opinion. I think XRP is going to be probably the best performer when it's all said and done here this cycle. And I think it's just getting started. I think that, at this point, there's nothing to worry about. Everybody's asking me, is the bear market here? Is the bull market over? Is XRP done? Even if it is, expand your time horizon. Hold it a little bit longer, right? My exit plan, if you haven't seen it, just go to my channel, type in XRP exit. And this is what I was talking about in the Power Group private community today as well. You should have an exit plan before you even enter a trade or an investment or, a stock or a crypto, etc. Even if any asset, right? If you buy a house, what's your exit plan? Are you living in it for 20 years, 25 years? Is it your forever home? Are you living in it until your kids go to school? Like, you need to have an exit plan, right? And, I have my sell targets, and I'm not taking any profit until we hit $4. And we haven't hit $4 yet, so we came very close, but I'll take my initial investment out when we hit $4 USD. And until then, I just continue to be patient, right? The stock market, the crypto market, markets in general are a mechanism from transferring wealth from the impatient to the patient. So which one are you? Are you going to be impatient and broke, or do you want to be patient and wealthy, right? So again, it's very simple. You develop the exit plan before you enter. You buy, you dollar cost average or whatever you're going to do. You scale in. You buy a little bit every week or every 2 weeks, every month. You have a number in mind that you want to get to. Once you get to that number, you stop buying. You wait for your sell targets, and then you got your take profit number one at $4, take profit number two at say $8, for example. And you just execute the game plan. It's really, really simple. And you're not, making decisions on the fly. Now, trading's different. And like I said, I did open a trade filled at 212. And I know a couple people in the Power Group private community took that trade as well. So let's see if this can be our, temporary bottom here. But that's why we use stop losses, etc. If I'm buying XRP and it's a long-term entry, like I was discussing in this video, I don't use a stop loss because I never invested any more than I'm willing to lose. And if it goes down below where I bought it, I'll just continue to load up, right? I don't need to buy any more XRP nowadays, even at $2, because my average is 40 cents. Like, why would I, there's just so many better opportunities out there, in my opinion, given the multiplier effect has sort of come and gone, right? Not to say that, I don't think it's a good buy here. If you don't own, let's say if you own a little bit of XRP and you're looking to buy more, well, now's a great time. But my average is 40 cents. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for me to do that. I'd rather buy some other beaten down alts or some other names in other sectors, etc., that have a lot more upside potential in terms of percentages and multiplier effect. But yeah, we'll see. Typically, it's what we normally expect with these events. We had multiple patterns showing that we were going to see more downside from here as well. And these events, they end up being a type of hype event, and then everybody's expecting some sort of announcement or whatever. And it's only day one too. So generally though, leading into the beginning of a conference, we see a sell-off, and then after the conference ends, everybody goes home, and then it starts to gain back some bullish momentum. And we could see some partnerships, we could see some announcements, we could see an XRP spot ETF get approved like any day now. I think it was Canary Capital who said that it was more than likely going to be next week. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's going to be what basically lifts us up from here. I think it's going to be the Clarity Act. It's going to be a big bank partnership in the U.S. or something like Bank of America really going in, or another one like Citibank, or who knows. But BlackRock filing for an XRP ETF, and some sort of partnership, and think of like Google and Amazon and Airbnb and Uber, like all these big tech companies. They're all going to want what Ripple has to offer. And I mentioned earlier in the video that Coinbase was basically unusable today. Can we just get Ripple to do everything? Because they're the only company that seems to know how to run a business in the crypto space. You're telling me your Coinbase and the platform is basically unusable today. I'm like, you're the number one, you're the biggest exchange in the world. You're the number one, well-known exchange. You're a publicly traded company in the U.S. Like, how do you not know how to run a platform? Like I said, Ripple just needs to take over everything crypto and become the Amazon of crypto and show everybody how it's done. Because, like I said, they're the only one who has a glue when it comes to running a crypto business, apparently. And they do so very, very well. Just a war chest of capital. And yeah, I'm not going to sit here and convince everybody of why Ripple's amazing, XRP is amazing. It doesn't matter. I can sit here and talk to you till I'm blue in the face. Unless you start to do the research, unless you put in hundreds and hundreds and thousands of hours, you're never going to understand what it is that you own. But most people won't do that is because they just want somebody on YouTube or one of their friends, family, acquaintances, whatever, Joe or Jane, to recommend something to them. But the problem with that is when you have these market turbulence moments like today, you're not going to have the stick-to-itiveness. You're not going to have the wherewithal. You're not going to have the conviction to stick through it. And I know what I own. Like I said multiple times, Elon Musk could come knock on my door and tell me to sell my XRP. I'm an idiot. It's the worst investment ever. And I'd be like, okay, dude, go back to smoking whatever you're smoking because, yeah, I know more than you do, right? he probably just who knows, right? It could be talk in his book. That's what all these big people do, like these corporations and Wall Street banks. They talk their book. Look at JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon. He said yesterday that everybody, or a couple days ago, I think it was, that basically they were wrong about Bitcoin. Everybody's going to use it. They were firing their employees in 2018 if they would promote it to their clients. And then it was later found out that they were buying the most Bitcoin during that bear market. So yeah, it's just ridiculous, right? So you just have to do the research, believe in it. And I'm so unwavered. I have zero doubt. I know, again, if this isn't the cycle where I sell all my XRP, or 80 to 90% of it, there's a certain portion that I'll be holding forever. Again, check out my exit plan video. But again, I just execute the plan. My exit plan hasn't hit my step one of my exit plan yet, so I don't do anything. Just sit back. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. All right, going to end it there. It's Robert with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll catch you in the next one.